playing. Oh, okay, I was about to say. I don't remember playing. Did I play? Yes. Stories work of fiction, names, characters, places, and instances. There are products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Spike Chunsoft. Dang. Shibuya's story is yours to tell. As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Where decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. Hopefully you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. T-Bot. Gonna open the time chart. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. He eyed his surroundings. Was the perp really going to show up? When? Where would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. Alright, another minute and a half. Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation this big before. He eyed the young woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd as she carried a nondescript attache case. Tomi Osawa, age 19. The attache case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called to Tomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano, quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous, just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano. Some words and phrases in the text appear in blue. These are called tips. Press square to underline the tip, then press X. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. There are tips containing general knowledge and ones that are 428. Oh, can I see the blue? That's a light blue. Maybe I should make it a darker blue. Specific, these are marked with magnifying glass and a 428 respectively. Shibuya Precinct, official name Shibuya Central Precinct, responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including Oyahara, Ugusudanicho, Urakawacho, Ebisu, Ebisu Nishi, Ebisu Menami, Oyamacho, Kamiyamacho, Sakura Kakacho, Sazazuka, Sarukukacho, Shibuya, Shoto, Shingumai, Shincentro, Shinan, Sendagaya, Daikan Yamacho, Dogenzaka, Tomigaya, Nanpei Dacho, Nishihara, Hatagaya, Hachiyamacho, Hatsudai, Higashi Hiru, Homachi, Mariyamacho, Moto Yoyogicho, Yoyogi, and Yoyogi Kamizonocho. There, that's the kind of blue you guys should have. My gosh. He always went a little overboard with the disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress up. Hey pal, spare some change. Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled and close to Kano. Hey, knock that off. Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? Clung to Kano with mock mockery, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out. Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. It was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, a particular region over which an organization or a member thereof has control of authority. Refers here to the areas under the jurisdiction of various police precincts. The Metropolitan Police Department, at the pinnacle of Tokyo's police hierarchy, has vastly more authority than local precincts. But since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem. But they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. The statue of Hachiko was surrounded by elite investigators from one of HQ's special investigation teams. Sometimes two or more tips will appear on a single screen. Press square repeatedly to change which words are underlined. Highlight the tip you wish to read, then press X into pressing square, or press circle to return to reading the story. Statue of Hachiko, Moai statue, and the green frog. Bronze statue of a dog erected in 1934. The dog was famous for loyally waiting for his absent master. Well known as the meetup spot outside of Shibuya Station, other popular meetup spots at the station display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series, commonly known as the Green Frog, and the Moai statue by the west entrance. HQ here refers to the Metropolitan Police Department, the Tokyo Police Section responsible for managing underground precincts within the city. Japan's largest police organization, in addition to policing Tokyo, it has various other duties and authorities for maintaining public order in the capital. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax, you'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. The voice coming in through the earpiece was Koji Kuze, HQ's operations director. The individual responsible for directing the investigation in the event of a serious crime. The task force is set up. The operations director is the one who assumes command. TV dramas and other fictional accounts often feature some young prodigy from the MPD as operations director, but in reality the position usually goes to a proven veteran. Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down. His low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. But Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he intended, though the suit hid his muscular physique. It did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. The department handled the abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with a criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there would be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing, Sasayama muttered. There he is. He's here. Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp. Kuze's particular vocal cord. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register prone to babbling in Vegeta's voice. Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. You can see the subject now. 20-something male nonchalantly approached Hitomi to talk to her. Alright people, be ready to grab this guy. Kuze was stationed in the mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance with the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. The detectives watched uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? You'll encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people in addition to changing your own fate. Use up and down to make your choice, then press X. The current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists. Can I save here? Bad ending. There's a bad ending list? This is the list of bad endings. Here you can check for hints as to why things ended as badly as they did. My gosh. There's a bad ending list. Settings, autosave is fine. Autoplay, show summary, scroll through text log, hide text, open time chart. Autoplay off, close summary, select toggle, tip, jump. Read, hold for speed up, confirm, autoplay, pause, resume, main menu. R1, left and right, adjust background brightness. How to play. 428 multiple protagonist stories are told. Yada yada yada. Okay, so yeah, this is telling me everything I already know. I think so. Is that the time? I think so. Something to see if I can save, but it doesn't seem like you can. Situation that wasn't entirely clear. I needed to get a better look at things. The situation still wasn't entirely clear. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held the bundle of letter-sized paper which he showed to Tomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Tomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of a choki behind her. Until finally, the man gave up and walked away. Guess it wasn't him. Kano felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Sasayama muttered. Succeeding at meeting someone on the fly like this takes a special knack. His looks are also important. Sometimes, of course, the person trying to get your attention out of nowhere is just trying to make a sales pitch for a product or a nearby establishment. At first glance, it isn't always easy to tell difference. I mean, she is pretty cute and all. You got a point. Though, of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She's got nothing on my Mi-chan. Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department departed them. Fine, let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now? You can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We're not having this conversation. Kano muttered, looking away. Oh, come on! Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama bowed for the phone. Got a picture of your girl on your lock screen yet? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I'm investigating, Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this? It's not... Ain't this Masami Nakahama? A national star. Tends to play the heroine in national morning soap operas during national historical dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she's even slated to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rumi, and she's... Sasayama, cut him off. You're telling me this ain't Masami Nakahama, the famous actress? Because this right here is Masami Nakahama. Like I said, you sly old dog. Trying to make like you're dating Masami Nakahama. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. Alright then, why don't you marry her? Kano stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Tomi. Kano let out a quick uneasy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama, I've been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Maybe you should be grateful. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. Appeared to tell me the strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills, it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before at around 7 p.m. This is MPD dispatch. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be an abduction. In Japanese law, act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into the control of a third party is known as kidnapping. Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same result is known as abduction. The subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy, last seen at the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her to a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity reported the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working a burglary case in Jumai's 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at the L Diner at 7:15 p.m. Roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who had reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today. Tommy was trembling, her voice hoarse, but I messed up the time. Showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixture for locals and exchange students. Tommy, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why would something like this happen to her? Tommy held back her tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. There was another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Tommy and Maria's school. I saw too. It's like Tommy says. I heard Tommy cry out, and so I went to the window to look, and the Japanese was halting as if he hadn't been in the country very long. I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat and clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Tommy nor Leland had gone to look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene, looking for other potential witnesses, when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We set up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you have a handle on the situation there. Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began operation. Roughly 150 people were working on the case in the Shibuya Precinct's conference room. The main force at work is HQ's first Special Investigation Unit. Additionally, other detective sections, the RIDE Squad, and investigators from neighboring precincts have been assembled. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. In a case where someone has been abducted for ransom, it is often difficult to resolve the situation without cooperating with the victim's family, but the family can also be a hindrance in making an arrest. To help guide the family's actions, the response team was assembled and stationed at the victim's home, led by an investigator with the proper training. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air, unfamiliar, and PD detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Achiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. Kajiwara from the precinct was put on a response team along with detectives from elsewhere who had received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajiwara along. Detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion. Arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace so the kidnapper contacted the family a second time. After pinpointing the source of an incoming phone call, the police are not allowed to do this independently. Without oversight, they must go through a formalized process that includes securing the cooperation of the phone company. In the past, connecting the trace itself would take time, but nowadays, acquiring the location would be practically instantaneous. But there were no further calls. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoffs. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? Wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why did this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced the question he'd been asking himself ever since he'd heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged, figured he must want to blend in with the crowd, nab the money, and disappear before anyone knows he's there, would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operation. And now there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk if this plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. You're overthinking things, pal, Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This is Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at hand. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Aha, here it is. Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he had been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think that Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly, maybe. I mean, he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if anybody else understood. Kano had faith in Tateno as both a detective and as an individual. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions. Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. Still, you know. Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great a detective as Tateno is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? The only time anyone ever hears the cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you've got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? Look, please, can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes and turned his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter? You didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time. Between bringing on supplies for the base of operations, readying the team's vehicles. The base of operations usually set up in a large room at the precinct, such as an auditorium. MPD and precinct investigators assemble there, and communications equipment, investigation resources, and such are brought in. Because of the scale and scope of these activities, newspaper reporters can be liable to notice, and so in cases such as kidnapping, where a victim's personal safety is at stake, the flow of information is tightly controlled. Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks. Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't gotten a meal in either. What have you been doing? Siyama puffed off his chest, saying, saving up my energy for today, so you were sleeping? Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is! His voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. The young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Tomi was standing. He strode toward her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Tomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That our guy? What do you think, Kano? Siyama whispered. Yeah, I think he's got to be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat, bent his knees ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with desperate strength. It was him. Detectives rushed in. Whoa, hey, what the hell? The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh, jeez, I think we've got another suspect on the scene. He's taking the ransom. Dumbasses. Kuze's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, a attaché case in hand. The mob detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Oh, sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it. With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect to the Shibuya precinct. Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why'd you try to steal that case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable the young guy would want to help a pretty girl. But he told me he had just been standing there, hard in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's dick diary shot through his mind. Dictum number 25. When the tongue slips, grab and yank out the truth. Classic advice for questioning. Something important you say, such as, how the heck would I know? Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. The standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. My throat. This is a lot of reading. Oh, boy. When Kano finally emerged in the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his dick diary. Dictum number 54, haste makes waste. He felt his tension subside, as remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi once more. You were there to act as a distraction to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit just dumbfounded. What are you on about? To the number 55, the truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudon, if you like. Japanese dish consisting of a bowl of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlet and egg. There are several variations such as sauce katsudon, where the egg is replaced with Worcestershire sauce, and miso katsudon, where the pork is stewed in miso. That's typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during an interrogation. This can be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided. Hachi nodded silently. Hachi devoured the bowl of katsudan with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright, then spill it. What's this guy after? Hachi just shrugged. I don't know. He remembered a thick slice of egg-laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplishments do you have? Kano asked, but Hachi just shook his head as if he inhaled his food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see, number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever a suspect might be hiding. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 55 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tateno would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the Dick Diary like it was scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Hachi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Hachi's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right? Mr. Coos, I did it. The young guy who grabbed at the handoff site finally confessed to the crime. What? Oh my god, what are you talking about? Kusei laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at issue, okay? No, it can't be. Too much wishful thinking. The kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Wow. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. He dropped the thick diary on his desk as he left the Shibuya precinct for the last time. Just like that? Just like that? Bad end. I already did like one choice. Number 1, so long Shibuya. Kano wound up at a bad end. However, this does not mean that the choice you made for Kano was the wrong one. One of the other protagonists, Hachi Endo, had an impact on Kano's fate here. You can avoid a bad end by making proper decisions. Another character's story. For a detailed hint, check the tip by underlining the bad end title. Press square, then X. So long, Shibuya. Hint. Kano had every reason to suspect Hachi Endo, but arresting him turned out to be a mistake. If Hachi hadn't approached Tomi, this wouldn't have happened. Try playing Hachi's story up to 10:30 and make a choice that keeps him from going up to her. If you do that, Kano won't even have a chance to arrest him and things should play out indifferently. Oh, I like that. That's hilarious.